host of the Gridiron.
The Giants are have their largest home dogs in 58 years. You got to go back to 1966, which is pretty much like the worst year Giants history. They were 112-1. 1966 wasn't necessarily. It was kind of odd. 1966, 1965, and 1966, 1964. Actually, 65 and 66. Those two seasons there were in the middle of the Hall of Famers, right? 1960, 61, 62, 63, 64. We had Y.A. Tittle. Tittle retired after 64. 65, 66. We had like Earl Morrall, right? Great backup quarterback though. But then 67 got Frank Tarkenton, another Hall of Fame quarterback. So 65 to 66, I said Morrall was a decent quarterback. Record doesn't seem to match. No. Oh no, they're 8-5. That's very disappointing. Very disappointing for them. Oh yeah. I mean, they definitely should be. Hey, I'll take 8-5, but for them, I'm sure they think they should be a little bit better than 8-5. I kind of agree. So this game, the final four games, well, let's take a look, shall we? Because I think the Giants, I saw 14 and a half point Giants underdogs. What do we got here? 2024. Baltimore Ravens. All right, so what do they got here? They got to play the Giants. Then they got to play the Steelers. Then they got to play the Texans in Houston, and then they finish up with Cleveland. So, Cleveland at home. So Cleveland give them a battle, right? Especially because there's a story I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes. They got rid of one of their trash ball players, but that's going to be a battle. That'll be a battle. Certainly doesn't mean Cleveland's going to win though. But they got Pittsburgh at home. That's going to be a huge game, and then they got the Texans in Houston. That's going to be a tough one. The Texans are 8-5 as well too. So they want to win that game. So they got Pittsburgh at home. That's going to be a big one, and Houston on the road. So they got some couple winnable games, but then they got some tough ones too. So if they lose to the Steelers and they lose to the Texans, they'll give them like 7 losses. They'll be 10-7. They might be able to make the playoffs, but it just. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It just. Let's see what we got here. There we go. It's once again. It's just. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. The first week of the season. Yeah. Well, the thing was with that. Yeah. They lost, but I forgot exactly what the score was. But I got it at 27-20. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Once again. That just goes to show you, right? How like anything that can, it's like it's just like with the Chiefs, they just get any freaky play or whatever fumble or something like always seems to go their way. Right? It just so you have to go through the whole season and get quarterbacks fumbling balls, and you have to block a field goal with no time on it to win a game. But it is what it is. But the Giants being 14 or 14 and a half point. I said you got to go back to 66. The Giants offense in 66 was putting up some points. The Giants offense in 66 scored over 40 points twice, lost both games. When you score 42 points in a game and you lose it, that means your defense sucks. The 1960, the Giants defense gave up 501 points. I forgot what that is. 36 points a game they gave up. That's historically bad. They're in the upper whatever. As far as I'm concerned, top 5 of all crappy defenses of all. I mean, you give up 71 points in a game to the Washington Redskins. I mean, just absolutely horrible. I mean, Washington had some good players and all that, but they didn't win the championship that year. They didn't go to the playoffs. So, I mean, the Giants get horrible that year, 1966. And I said they could score some points. Their defense was just horrible. This Giants 2024 is kind of the exact opposite. Our defense, is acceptable, okay? But it's our offense. We're just not scoring any points. And, I mean, to be 14 and a half point underdogs at home, it's just, poof. I mean, we certainly deserve to be, right? I mean, the Ravens are a good football team, and we stink. So the Giants enter Week 15 with biggest home underdog spread in 58 years for them, for the Giants. Giants are having a bad season, so much that fans let owner John Mara know with a plane that flew over the stadium on Sunday. After yet another disappointing loss, clinched by a blocked last-second field goal, the team is facing another stiff challenge in Week 15, and the sportsbooks are setting historic odds for it. According to ESPN's Bet, New York is currently entering the contest with the Ravens 14.5-point underdogs at home. If that line holds until Sunday, it will be the team's largest since 1966 against the St. Louis Cardinals, where they were 14.5-point underdogs. Giants are 14.5-point underdogs. If the line moves back to just 14-point underdogs, it would still be their largest home underdog roll since 1966, which when they were 14-point underdogs at home, 1966 against the Cowboys, who were a good team in 66. They went to the championship game. They lost 34-27 in the NFL championship game to the Green Bay Packers, who then that wound up being a year of Super Bowl one. Even if it were to slide back to 14 points, it would still be the largest home underdogs. Just against the Cowboys in 1966. Giants only scored 11 points Sunday against the Saints and are averaging just 14.9 points per game, which is the worst in the NFL. Baltimore is averaging 29.5 points a game. So you can almost say, right? The Giants score 15 points a game. The Ravens score 29.5 points a game. Combine the two, right? It's 14.5-point difference right there. I know that's not how they came up with the number, but, right? Giants average 15 points a game. Ravens average 29.5 points a game. The 29.5 points a game for Baltimore is the third best in the league and boasts a multiple offensive weapons that will overbear New York's defense, despite it being ranked 19th overall entering Week 14. Now, tell you what, the Giants' run defense is going to be it'll be challenged this week, to say the least. Even with a weapon like rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors in the lineup, there is no way New York's offense will be able to keep up with Baltimore. The funny thing is that quarterback Lamar Jackson has lost only 2 times in the NFC. The most recent was against the Eagles, obviously, a couple weeks ago at home. And then 2 years ago, he lost when the Ravens came here and we wound up beating them. Kayvon knocked the ball out in the final minute, whatever it was. I'm sorry, that was a fumble. It was an interception, right? So that was an exciting game, but that was the Ravens' only other loss to an NFC team. First time was 2020, but history is unlikely to repeat itself this time, and Vegas is well aware of it. So the Giants are, and obviously, 222-0. Yeah, that could be this one, right? Right? That would be a tough watch. 222, I think it was, to nothing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be a very difficult watch, that's for sure.